Welcome everybody to the ttff 21, the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. I am Bruce Paddington and I thank you for joining us. Our full program will be screened online from today, September the 22nd to the 28th. Our new media exhibit will be available online at Grandison Lab, Belmont, this Friday and Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m. So try to make that. Feel free to comment and ask questions you have for the filmmakers, and we'll try to accommodate them during this session. And don't forget, you can check out the films at watch.eventive.org/TTFF21. Finally, we wish to thank all our TTFF 21 sponsors and partners. NGC is our signature sponsor this year. And we have leading sponsorship from Shell, TNT, and Republic Bank, Trinidad. Okay, that's the intro over. So I am very pleased to have with me Rachelle Salnave, and we're going to be talking about her film, Madame PIPI. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure. Congratulations, by the way. And like I said, it's an honor to meet you. This film festival is really important, and the amazing program it has on showcasing diaspora stories is so crucial and important. So thank you for all the work that you've done, all the dedication. I know it's not easy.
And this is the Caribbean premiere of Madame PIPI.
It is. It is. Yes.
So where do you have your world premiere?
It was at Black Star in Philadelphia in August. Yes.
And how was it received?
It was really well received. I mean, again, this year is an interesting time because it was a hybrid film festival. I was able to be in Philadelphia, but my film was online. And of course, it was nice to be able to just interact with people. But again, you know, it was interesting to see sort of this hybrid situation happening. But here in Trinidad, we're full blown virtual. And for me, from a filmmaker's perspective, I think it's great because now the world has access. You know, I can send people notice in all over the world to say, hey, tune into Trinidad, you know, online. But I'm not sure from you guys' perspective how it is.
I find one of the interesting things about your film is the title. I mean, you don't have to subtitle it. I mean, everybody knows PIPI. So you've chosen a great title.
Well, it's actually not, it's the name that the French called women who worked in the bathroom. It was either Dame Pipi or Madame Pipi. And I actually discovered that when I went to France to hang out with my adopted uncle. And he asked me, you know, so what's your new project? Because I had just finished my feature, La Belle Vie, The Good Life, which was about my Haitian identity. And anything Haiti was like on my radar. And to be able to go into the nightclubs in Miami and see these Haitian women. I mean, it was not just Haitian women that are doing these types of jobs, but those are the women that were like, bing. My uncle told me a bit of interesting history about these people in France and how the original women who used to do this line of work were Russians that came from the last monarchy and traveled to, you know, to Paris and France to find work, to find a way of life. And, you know, the French have such a way of words, you know, Madame Pipi, you know, Madame Pipi, it's so humiliating. But I know growing up, especially in the hip hop culture, when words are used to humiliate and words are used to, you know, oppress, we use it, we flip it, and we make it into something beautiful. And so in the beginning, I was really worried about the title, Madame Pipi, because it is humiliating from the perspective of, you know, growing up in the States and being Haitian, and also the ties between Haiti and France. But these women that I met in the bathroom kind of reminded me of these Russian people in my imagination who had to leave their country to find a way to live, to a way to feed their family. And these women in the bathroom, these Haitian women that I've met, Haitian people, throughout the diaspora, they're the tips that they make. A portion of it obviously has to feed themselves in this very expensive Miami, but then they send it back home, and that coupled with the larger diaspora, makes up 1/3 of the GDP of Haiti. So these women are royal to me, just like, these Russian women, who came from this last monarchy in France, who are, called Madame PIPI because they work in the bathroom,
So how has COVID-19 affected them?
Well, it has affected the nightlife scene, but it hasn't, even before COVID, nightlife in the state. I grew up in New York City. I mean, I've been here in Miami for the past 10, 11 years. It's changed. With technology, people are using, hand dryers now. They're not using towels. Younger people don't tip like how my generation and the generation before me used to tip. They don't really see the connection between tipping someone while they're in the bathroom, a very sacred place. But COVID, it really, people don't go out as much, but it, again, I think, with the changing of time, these jobs are slowly going to become obsolete, with technology, even in Europe, as I mentioned, they're building these really luxury porta potties. So these jobs, over time, I think will be obsolete. But what will not be obsolete is that when people leave their country and they have to find any type of job, they'll do anything to feed their families. So
How did you get the trust of these ladies?
well, it took time. It took time. A lot of hanging out in the bathroom. A lot of the women, most of all of the women love talking to me all night long. But if it had something to do with the camera or a voice recorder, they didn't want to be a part of it. And so over time, as a few of them started to see how dedicated I was and my intention, which was to kind of show a different side of Haiti, almost like a love poem to Haiti, to say, hey, we left our country, not because we wanted to, but we came here and we're still helping. We haven't relinquished our duties because we're in a foreign country. We're still helping. So, understand the story, understand the plight of what happens when we leave. That was kind of always my intention, and they knew that. And so a few of the women were like, let's do this. I want to tell my story.
And what were some of their stories?
Well, I met a handful of fascinating women. One woman who actually I couldn't, I had to cut her out of the film because it's a short, but she actually came by boat. She left Haiti on boat to go to the Bahamas, stayed in the Bahamas for a few years, and similar to what you see going on now with Haitians leaving, South America because of humiliation and the way they're being treated. It's the same way they were treated in the Bahamas. So she left again by boat to come here. And one of the first things that she could find, jobs that she could find, was in the bathroom, working in the nightclubs. Another woman left after the 2010 earthquake, and she was doing really well in Haiti. She was a businesswoman. She had her home. She had a great life in Haiti, and very well respected. And she came here by plane and got, she got all her paperwork and everything because of the situation with that earthquake. And the first thing that she can find was this job. So there's just like so many variations of different stories that these women, had. But the one universal theme was that they would always send money back to Haiti. They always had a family member, a friend, and in Haiti, friends are family. It's that universal theme of always giving back, always giving back. So it's kind of like this love poem, remittances story, that I think everyone who is, a so-called immigrant or come from another country can relate to this. My sister-in-law, she's from the Philippines. She's always, the Philippines are always giving back. The diasporas of many of these countries are so vital. So, this is what my whole intention was. Not in the very beginning, because there were so many different aspects and so many different avenues that I could have went to. But then, I decided that this is the universal theme.
Things seem to be getting worse for the Haitians, especially in the diaspora, seeing thousands under a bridge in Texas. I mean, does this give you despair?
There's always hope. There's always hope, and there's always faith. What you're seeing today has been happening since 2010. This is just some great photographers that caught some great footage and great pictures. But this has been happening for the past couple of years now, where people have left Brazil, which the Brazilian government, has asked back in 2010 that Haitians come, only for cheap labor. After the World Cup was done, they had no use for Haitians. So Haitians started to leave by foot. Some could leave by plane, maybe to go to different other countries in South America. But yeah, there's always hope. There's always hope. And the more, it's unfortunate that Haiti is always in the news for something horrific. But again, just like with the title and the term of Madame PIPI, using something that, people who try to oppress us change, using a narrative that has been like trying to brand us for centuries. No, we turn it around and we're going to do something. I'm very hopeful that things are going, they are changing, actually. Things are changing. It's just, we don't see it because the media has their own narrative of what they want to tell Haiti, which is why, people who do my line of work, there's, a few films about Haiti in this film festival right now. You have Michelle Stevenson, you have the other film about, Haitian artists. Films are really important. We're like heart surgeons. We're just important as doctors, filmmakers, So, yeah, I'm really hopeful. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be dedicating my life to my country. It's a great country. It's a fantastic country that has fantastic people. It just has a few bad apples. And those same bad apples are here in the States. They're in Trinidad, they're in Jamaica, they're in Africa, they're in Russia, they're in everywhere part of the world. And they're their time is up. So yes, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful.
I think I'm getting a sign saying to wrap up.
Oh, sorry.
I think.
Sorry, Bruce.
No, but it's fine. It's great. I'm really happy that I got to talk to the director of Madame PIPI. It was one of my favorite films in the festival.
Why is it?
And
Can I ask you?
why? It was just so natural and real, and you seem to have such a rapport with the ladies, and they seem so proud and strong, and you know, as you said, they're working in the toilets, but they're still strong, and they know why they're doing it. They're doing it to send their money back to their family. So it's a very strong film, and I hope it does well at the festival. Most people come to see it, but turn on their computers to see it. So thanks everyone for joining us for this Q&A. Don't forget you can still catch this great film as it is screening all day today. So check out the website ttfilmfestival.com, where you can find all the information about how to buy tickets, and check out the following films that will be coming up. So I think that's it. Anything finally you'd like just to say to end?
Well, just again, thank you. It's an honor to meet you, and thank you for your work on showing, the film about Grenada that is so important. And I think the whole team of the Trinidad Film Festival, because you guys are super organized. I know it's a tough time with COVID, but thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for the time, and thank you for your dedication to showing important work and talent and different varied voices of the African diaspora. So thank you.
And you're quoted as saying you want to change the narrative of Haiti and the African diaspora.
We are doing
change the narrative.
Yeah.
And you can do this through films.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks, Rachelle.
Thank you.
And that's it for today. Thank you. Go and see the film.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.